Shalom, shalom. And first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechak Badash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Lord willing, for upon your houses. All right, man. So for those, that don't know, this is a scene from the new TV series called Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, right? And this was a scene on, I want to say the eighth episode that I came across, man. Now, it's real spiritual, man, because as it says right here, the faithful, right, are ultimately going to be committed to the price no matter the cost, right? No matter if the cost cannot be known, man. And that applies to us, man. Because again, when you come into His truth, we're ultimately told to do what, man? Because Yahweh Shai had brought up a parable, right? Talking about, a builder going to build a building, right? That if he, if he doesn't have, if he a sufficient amount to, to be able to build this building, right, then what would happen? He would ultimately be mocked, man. And so ultimately what? You have to know the cost before you get into something, right? This is Luke 14:28, just hitting the point, right? It says, "For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?" That's right, man. So ultimately, again, man, you have to understand the cost, right? Especially of being in this truth, man. And when you first come in, right, you're constantly told, right? You're constantly, informed of, hey, this is what's going to take place, right? Scriptures say that, if we shall reign with Him, we shall suffer with Him, man. Roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, man. So, we have to understand, right, that the servant is not greater than the master. That just as Yahweh Shai, our Lord, our Savior, and our big brother have went through it, that we're gonna go through it too, man. And part of those sufferings is what, right? Losing family, right? Losing friends, right? Losing property, right? It might be a house or apartment. It might be a car, right? It might be many, many different things, man. I got this bee up in my face, man. Yeah, man. So that's something that we have to understand, man. We're going to lose a lot, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's sake, man. And that's the thing, right? You have a lot of people, especially in the world, man, that will sit there and, they'll think that we're crazy because, we're willing to lose all those things, right, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? It's because they don't have the ability to see the end result before the end result is ultimately, brought forth, man. We can, right? We can see, right? We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, whereas, there is such a long tunnel, they can't see the light, man, right? But we're just as, Apostle Paul, man, where he said he counts all things as what? As dung, man. So let's grab that real quick. So we're in that same mindset, right, this is a Philippians 3 and verse 8. It says, "Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Mashiach Yahweh Shai, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things." Right, man? So again, right, when you come into this truth, you're supposed to understand that you are going to suffer loss, right? Because that's the cost of being in this truth, man. That's the price. Right? And you might not know it, right? When you first come in and say, hey, brother say, hey, count the cost, man. Hey, you're going to go through sufferings. You're going to go through this, that, and the third, right? They might give you, basically a blanket, right? Of terms of what you very well could go through. But you have to understand, we're standing in our own lots, man. Right? So what one brother lost, you might not lose, right? So this brother over here might have lost, his friends. His family was on board, right? But he lost his friends. Whereas you might lose your family, but you keep your friends. Or this brother, you know what I mean? He lost his family, his friends, but he kept all his belongings, right? And let's say he was he had a good paying job and, he was able to go and travel and do this, that, and the third, right? He might have kept all that, but it was opposite for you, right? You lost your job. You lost your, you know what I mean, your ability to go and have, some extra cheese and cheddar to be able to spend on whatever you want. Hey, but you kept your family and your friends, man. Hey, every brother is, is in it. We're in our own lots, man. All part of one body, but we're all, in our own lots, man. Right. So just as, you know, uh, um, Yahweh Shai lost a lot of things, man. Hey, again, we're going to lose a lot of things, right? Because Yahweh Shai, he didn't even have a place to lay his head, man. Yahweh Shai did. He had nothing, man, right? And we very well could end up in that same situation, man. But this is the mentality, right, that one of our forefathers, right, the apostles of the scriptures, right, one of the 12 apostles, hey, this is the spirit that he was in, man. Philippians 3:8, it says, I'll read it again from the top. It says, yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss, right, for the excellency of the knowledge of Mashiach Yahushai, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. That's right, man. Hey, because you being attached to these things, right, will ultimately, one, it'll aid in you being, pushed out of this gospel, right? Because you're too attached to these things, man. Right? You're giving your too much. The Most High requires that sacrifice, man. And if you're not sacrificing, right, your time, your energy, then guess what, man? And you're not doing what the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai wants you to do, man. And you're too focused on these things, therefore he will give you over to them, man. Right? That's just how it is, man. We have to stay focused and remain focused on this truth, on Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Right? Because at the end of the day, no matter the price, right? If you end up paying that price, guess what, man? And you're going to be better off having paid that price right now than to pay the ultimate price because you didn't want to pay the price up front, man. Right? And that ultimate price is you being destroyed, man. That's what a lot of our people are going to have to do, man, because they didn't want to take heed, because they didn't want to hearken, because they didn't want to sit here and pay that price right now and let the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai worry about everything else. Therefore, they're going to have to be destroyed. Therefore, they're going to have to, pay that ultimate price, man. Going to, Isaiah the 65th chapter. We're just flowing in the spirit, man. It's Isaiah 65:12. It says, and therefore will I number you to the sword. And again, that sword is, and this is speaking on the 2/3, those that don't want to take heed, those that don't want to pay that price, right? Right? It says, therefore will I number you to the sword. That sword goes into famine, pestilence, earthquakes, uproars. Because that soccer game, I can't remember where it was at. That soccer game, where they were doing, man. They crowded the field, but then the police kind of pushed them back. And people were getting trampled, stepped on, suffocated, right? Uproars. It could deal with Esau, Edom. Psalm 17:13 tells you that what? The Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, is the sword of the Most High, man, right? And not only that, is his blessing is the sword, man, right? So you could be given up to Esau, Edom, and his sword, his blessing, or you could be saved for that what? That destruction. Right, which is that also the sword, which is in Psalms the 34th chapter, the 7th verse, man. Right, where it says, "My sword shall be bathed in heaven." We're talking about those ICBM nuclear missiles, man. Right, so you could be saved from many different forms of judgment and punishment that are to come because you didn't want to pay that price, man. Right, and ultimately it goes right back to you being unfaithful, man. Right. Let me finish this. It says, therefore I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, man. Right? It says, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. That's right, man. So let me grab this real quick. This is 2nd Esdras 15, and I think it's verse 4. Yeah, verse 4, it says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. Hey, because at the end of the day, the faithful are going to do what? And that was a beautiful quote, from that movie, man. Hey, the faithful are going to be committed to the price, even if the cost cannot be known, man. Hey, because at the end of the day, when you come into this truth, yeah, brothers is talking about counting the cost, right? Here, you have to understand that you're going to lose. You're gonna gain. You're gonna have to give up something, right? Or it might even be something that you like doing, man. Something that ultimately helps you, de-stress or whatever it may be, man. And the Lord might take that away from you because He wants you to focus on Him more, man. Right? so that way you can ultimately grow more in the spirit. Hey, this is what the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua wants, man. He doesn't want you to be part of the world, because ultimately, as he said in James, the 4th chapter, right, in the 4th verse, the friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High, man. Meaning the Most High is going to have, there's going to be a hatred, right, between you and the Most High. It's going to be the Most High towards you because you chose to be a part of the world. And to love the world means what? That the love of the Father is not in you, man. That's just how it is, man. This is why, again, you have to what? You have to be committed, man. Matter of fact, let's look up that word committed, man. Because that's a heavy thing, man. You have to be committed to this truth. You have to be committed to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Committed, right? It says entrusted, delegated, right? It says right here, bound or obligated as under a pledge to a particular cause, action, or attitude. That's right, man. It says bound right here, man. Did not Apostle Paul say what, man? That he is a prisoner of hope, man. Right? So he was bound to this truth, man. He was bound to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. It says right here, it says associated and no, that's not it. Right? It says bound, or I'll read it again, bound or obligated, right, as under a pledge to a particular cause, action, or attitude. And our cause, right, is serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua first and foremost, man. Right? And in doing so, Lord will receiving the blessing of the kingdom, man. This is what it is, man. And this is not a path that's going to be easy. This is not a path that's going to be something where you're not going to lose, man. Let's grab this. This is Matthew 7 and start at verse 13, right? It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, man. And as you go into that word straight, it goes into position of difficulty, man. So this walk that we're on is a straight one, man. It's a straight path, a straight and narrow path, right? Which is really hard, man. It's a hard path. And those men that are on this path, walking this path, knowing and losing these things that they love and at one point held so dear unto them, hey, what's going to happen, man? Hey, those men are strong, man. Hey, those men are able to, overcome these things because they're looking at whatever they have or whatever's on their table as, minuscule or nothing compared to the kingdom that's to come, man. Right? Nothing compared to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Hey, these men, right, are willing to lay their lives down just as Yahweh Shai had laid his life down for us, man. And when we understand that there's no greater love than that a man shall lay down his life for his friends, and Yahweh Shai was the first person to do that, man. And that was the greatest. He was the first person to take that step and show the greatest love, man. And we have to follow after that same example, man. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So most people are going to be on this broad and wide gate, man. Right? Most people are going to be, non-committed to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, when the average person ain't committed to shit, man. Not even committed to themselves. They'll sit there and make a vow, to themselves to do this, that, and the third, but they won't even commit to that, man. Right? So the average person ain't shit, man, at the end of the day, man. Hey, but the men of the Lord, they make a vow to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and they try their best to keep it at all times, man. We understand we're in this flesh, but nonetheless, and they fight that flesh every single day to keep that vow, to keep that promise, man. It says, verse 14, it says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. That's right, man. Right, so just as that quote said, man, hey, the faithful are going to be committed to the price, even if the cost cannot be known, no matter what it is, man. Good, bad, ugly, pretty, don't fucking matter, man. That is faith. True faith, man. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Bashem, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. Till next time, we'll say shalom.